Hi there and welcome back once again to Diagonal Move. We are still with Crowbar, the Rangers at Pointe Du Hoc. Currently the first night time increment of the 6th of June. The relief column is moving ever closer, but we're still below the halfway point for the relief column. Germans have already had one counterattack, moving rapidly towards their second. VPs are not yet on the board. They're counted at the end, but given that we have literally nothing on this board so far in the game, apart from a couple of casualties, I'm pretty sure we can say our VPs are on the low side, maybe non-existent. Okay, quick look at the track done. Let's jump into the game and get on with the third activation. Time for the third activation then. Quick recap on where we are. Fox Company are more or less over the cliffs now and progressing through the minefield towards the guns here in the forest, just at the very edge of the screen now. Likely to face some stiff resistance just here, and there are some movement obstacles in terms of barbed wire to come across as well. Unfortunately, in this sector there are no guns apart from here and then all the way up here. They're the things that give us points, and we're running out of time on this first day to get the most points from any of the guns in Fox Company's sector. Dog Company took a pounding, haven't really recovered from it, to be honest. We've still got one unit on the beach and another one here. But we do get the company commander back now, who the company commander was removed from the track, from the board for a little while following the sinking of one of the landing craft. Over at the back, Easy Company are having a mixed time of it. Got a couple of boats here still not yet even hit the beach. The unit here with the Easy Company commander is still pinned down on the beach, shall we say. Not pinned in game terms, but they're not really going anywhere. Got to get across the cliff top to that bunker there. However, the other unit, this one, has managed to scale the cliffs and is now well on its way towards the guns. Now, this is an interesting decision for us because we need to decide, do we race forward and try and get the guns, or do we hang back and support? Because the historical locations of the guns, all the way over in the very far top left corner there, where the greatest density of counters do sit. In fact, in terms of the overall map, the greatest density of German artillery counters is in Easy Company's section, closely followed by Dog Company. So really, the side of the board we want to see some progress on over this side is the one side that we haven't really got very far with, which is the story of the game every time I've played, to be honest. Right, anyway, let's get going, and let's start with Easy Company. Shaken unit over in the corner there, but let's try and get it up over that cliff. We have a firm hold on the cliff top, just there, and we just want the one activation point to get over the cliff, and then a second to get into the prepared terrain that the bunker is sat in at the moment. In order to do that, I think we're going to need to roll a yellow. No, let's roll green. Let's roll the green die. I want to try and remove that shaking counter first, if we can. Yeah, that would probably be worth trying, I think. Let's roll. Hit a time card. And we move forward, the time track forward 1 hour. So we're still in the nighttime phase, but we're heading ever closer towards June 7th. And that reduction in victory points that comes with the passing of time. We're still no further over that beach. We didn't have any advance point, so we cannot remove that shaking counter. Let's roll the yellow, try and get up over that cliff. Oh, come on. Right, okay, story of the game with this yellow die, it's rigged, I'm sure, is that we stop again. Unless I use Easy Company's commander. I was going to save it to try and use it for an extra combat die, but let's roll a second time. And we've rolled a stop again. I'm starting to wonder if it's the dice. These are PnP dice, and it's possible that it's rolling slightly funny. But I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Let's try one more time. we wouldn't have got any further anyway. It turned out to be something entirely different. So we'll stop the activation and move on to the next counter. It seems like slightly ironic that I very rarely roll stops with anything except when the camera's on, which is very strange. But anyway, let's see how we get on now with another unit. And let's try this boat. And we rolled what we wanted last time with the activation point plus a hit. We have a regular hit, so we just take the hit on the Ranger, reducing that down to 5. But we do get to move forward 1. And now I roll the green in an attempt to get up onto that beach and away from the risk that is the shoreline there. But we rolled a time card and an event card, and this time the relief column does march on. Let's pop that one into the middle of the deck. So the relief column is now at the halfway point. So in theory, we are technically halfway through the game, which is slightly shocking how poorly I'm doing. But we still have to press on. I've only got the 2 risky dice left, and I really just want to get to that beach now. We've rolled a hit with a movement, so we will move, but we do need to take the next counter to represent the wounded company, and so it becomes a 4. We do need to do the J projector launch for the grapple hook off the boat, and we've not secured any kind of grappling hook hold there. We are on the beach. We still have to keep going because we cannot consolidate here. So the black die, the risky die, gives us a shaken marker. So let's grab that shaken marker and start the next unit. We don't have any other poor effect from. That's actually, I keep making this mistake actually every time I play this. That's actually the route. Shaken is that one. To me that seems slightly strange, but anyway, we do get the shaken marker, but we would take an additional hit, moving the counter down to 3, and we would stop. So all is good there. Well, it's not, but I didn't make any horrendous mistake there. Caught it just in time. I think this one possibly now. Again, trying to get to the beach. Okay, fantastic. Finally a good roll. Moving straight onto the beach. We won't worry about the J projector launch because we've got the firm hold from the collapsed cliff during the artillery bombardment. We only need 1 point to get up the top of that cliff with that hold there, and we've got 1. So that was a 1 with a Ranger counter, a Ranger event counter needed. So let's do the advancement first. Okay, this is progress. This is definitely progress, and let's grab the event chit. And we have that we've pulled is open fire, easy company, but low ammo. Now the low ammo would be for June the 8th according to the counter. We're on June 6th still, so that's okay. Now this is a good thing for us normally because we'll be able to shoot each of the units with an easy company at an available target. The thing we need to remember though is it's nighttime, meaning line of sight is reduced to just the immediately adjacent spaces, and therefore this unit and this unit cannot shoot at anything. This one would not really be able to shoot anyway because of the distance to the enemy. This one will be able to shoot up the top of the cliff, and this one will be able to shoot at the same target. Because the adjacency is reduced, so line of sight is reduced to the adjacent unit spaces, this one is not going to be a valid target for this guy. So let's roll. The first attack will be this one here, which is going to be 3 dice on this one, removing a die for the fact that this is in prepared terrain. Let's roll 3 dice. We've rolled 2 2 5s, which is half a hit apiece, reducing the command bunker down to 2 strength points and applying a pinned marker. And then this one, again, we need to reduce the dice. There's 4 dice to begin with for that one, reducing 1 for the fact that they are shaken and 1 for the fact the target is in prepared terrain. So hoping for 6s again, and we have 2 misses. Well, 2 misses by miles. Okay, so that's the end of that event chit activation, and we move back to the unit that we are currently activating, this one. We have a potential to roll one of these 2 dice still. It's very tempting to try a headlong charge here. We're at the maximum health. There are 2 guns under there. We would need to have 1 activation point plus a 2nd and 3rd activation point due to the prepared terrain. We've only got those dice to do it with. It might be worth trying to get a little bit closer. So let's roll red. It's slightly less risky. And we're shaken. We'll stop there, I think. Place the shaken marker on there. We do consolidate, and I think the consolidation action that I will take will be to remove that shaken marker we've just received. We can't raise the health points up at all, so we may as well just reduce that shaken counter. Okay, anybody else left in easy company? Just this guy here. And I think I'm going to press forwards as much as possible, try and get those guns. We're running quite low. We could hope for a hasty fire, try and kill that command bunker, but we're still going to be risking not having much success. So let's do that. Let's move forwards. We'll roll yellow. Dice has got to be failing me. No, maybe not. Okay, so we stop. Let's stop the activation. That's annoying. Okay. Okay. Let's move over to, let's go to dog company just here. Here rather. And we'll move this unit up onto above the cliffs. I'm going to roll that yellow dice again to see what happens. I did just roll it like 8 times off camera and I didn't get a single stop activation, so it must be just a jinx with this game, and I'll put the camera on. Let's go. And we've drawn a time card, moving time on 1 hour. And let's roll green with the 1 advancement point. Okay, dog company are above the cliffs. That's fantastic. Let's stop there and consolidate. There's not really any consolidation action we can take, but at least we're safe. That's the main thing for now, I think, with dog company, because somehow we've got to get across into this section here to take the guns that are there, and also the guns in this column here. Eventually, the guns are off screen at the moment, they're right at the top of the map, but the bigger concern are the guns there. We shall see. Final unit in dog company then is this one, and we will roll. I think I want to go for yellow again, trying to get into that space with the guns. Oh, come on. Okay, right, let's move across to Fox Company. we'll try and get the guy here up onto up above the cliffs, and further on we'll use green, and we've rolled the card 2 times. That means we're nearly at the end of the night phase. Yellow die, and we've got 1 activation point, which I won't spend because we need to save it to get up above the cliff, and a German token. Okay, the German token is artillery support fire in Zone E. Zone E is this middle space. Now normally what would happen is there would be basically an open fire procedure that the Germans would use against any Ranger counters in Zone E there, but without any Ranger counters in Zone E, we basically don't activate it. So that's a bit of a let off for us, or at least for the Rangers in Dog Company, meaning we still need to decide whether we're gonna have to press forward because we're on the beach, aren't we? We take a hit and we do move forward, so we drop that counter down to 8 strength points, and then move on up the top of the beach, top of the cliff even. With that activation point and the activation point that was on the red die, bring the rally point forward. Do we carry on? Be very risky, it's the black dice, but we could consolidate if things go really badly. Yeah, let's try it, why not? We need to try and get some progress in here, and we're shaken. I will consolidate. Well, I can't consolidate because you don't consolidate if you use all 4 die, which means that unit does stay shaken, and we have activated him. Okay, I actually just realised that the counter was already shaken, which means we convert to a rout, and we take hits to the rally point. Fortunately, the rally point is there in the same space, so we just lose 1 on that unit, which is a very narrow escape, frankly, because if the rally point had been back here still and we'd taken the route there, we would have had a problem. Or if we'd been further up and we'd taken the hit, we would have had to have taken hits to the distance, if that made any sense at all. Okay, let's go to this unit, try to get to those guns. I'll roll yellow. We have a hit and move 1 activation point, so we just drop that counter down to 8 health as well, and then we can move it forward the 1 space. And let's roll green, move it forward 1 space, and we pull the event chit for the Rangers. And we have cover. We found some smoke. Cool. Okay. With smoke, we get this counter, which gives a modifier to any German attacks that may take place while the Ranger is in that space. So that's pretty good, but it doesn't get us any closer to the German unit here in those guns. Just want to have a quick look to see what the strength is there, because if we were to attack this unit, we would need to look at the strength of this unit and this unit to determine any a potential die modifier. Now the question is, do I carry on? That's a good question. I do need to get some points in on the board, and I could do that potentially because this is quite a weak unit here with just 2 strength points, but I need to roll 2 activation points to get into there, and there is the risk with these two dice, that could do more harm than good. Interesting question. Yeah, let's try rolling the red one, see what happens. We've got one activation point, which is no good because we need to have two to get into the prepared terrain, but at least we do have the ranger chit that we can pull. And the ranger chit this time is open fire again, and it's Fox Company this time. We had Easy Company earlier, this time it's Fox Company. It would be low ammo if we were on the 7th, but we're not. We're still in the 6th just, so 6th of June that is. So the first thing we need to do then, take advantage of that, and we'll shoot from there to there with 4 dice, deducting 1 for the prepared terrain. And we've inflicted 1 hit. Fantastic. Okay, that's good. This counter here will shoot there. We're in prepared terrain again, but we only have a 5 strength points, so that's down to 2 dice, and it's pinned. Let's grab a pinned marker. The map is so big I have to keep walking around the board. Okay, and then this one can't shoot, but this one can. It can't shoot because of the adjacency. The line of sight is reduced to adjacency during the nighttime phase, so this one will shoot with a total of 4 dice, and this unit here is in the open, so it's a full 4 dice, and we've scored a hit and another half hit. We'll just flip that over to reflect the hit. Okay, and now we're back to the activation of this unit, which we need to decide whether or not we're going to carry on. We've got 1 action point we can use, but we need 2. It would be risky using this, but then there are guns there. There are guns just there. Let's roll. And we have a variable hit and then 2 activations. Okay, do the hits first. Now in the land, variable hits are varied. Here they would do different things depending on where you are in the sea. Here it's 2 hits on the beach. On the land, it depends on the distance to the German units and what type of units the Germans are. Okay, so we have within 2 spaces we have grenadiers, a machine gun, HKA regiment, grenadiers. Okay, so I think we're going to get hits to the distance from this unit, so it's going to be 1 and then 2 because it's a machine gun. Where there's a selection, it's the worst effect on the rangers that you take. So we dropped that 8 strength points down to just 6. There are those nighttime rules around shooting, but I don't think that applies with the hits, top of my head. But what I will do now, I'll use just 1 of these activation points to do a hasty fire with that guy. It's going to be 3 minus the 1 for the terrain. So we're going to roll 2 dice and a 5 plus inflicts incoming fire marker. Let's see how we go. No, nothing. Okay, so we're just going to now move with the remaining 2 activation points into that space and do some close combat. It's going to be 3 die. To start with, the Germans will have 1. We don't have any support. We don't have them flanked. We're not shaken. There's no heroic action, so I don't think there's any adjustment to the attacking dice. For the defending dice, though, they are in prep terrain. So I think we're looking at a 3 versus 2. Let's see how it goes. Okay, they have inflicted half a hit on us. We have inflicted 1 morale loss. Don't need to adjust for the half a hit, but we do need to take into account that there's no clear winner in terms of morale losses, so we need to remove the ranger counter back 1 space because there's no clear victor. Oh, that's frustrating. But then I will stop and I will consolidate and bring up the activation marker. Okay, just 2 activations remaining in this particular round of activations, and I think we'll start with this guy here trying to get into that space with the regiment. We need two activation points because it is in the prep terrain again. So let's roll the yellow. Oops. And we've got 2. Fantastic. We've got 2. We do have a variable hit, and I think that's going to be 2 again because of the proximity to that machine gunner. So we're down to 3. Ouch. That's harsh on that unit. Dropping down to 3 strength points. Wow. Okay. That could be a problem. But we do have the 2 points we need. So let's just jump on over. And first thing we do, the German unit does have these 2 remaining incoming fire markers. So let's reveal both of those. We have, oh, fantastic. Fantastic. 1 hit each. That couldn't be better because we now inflict those 2 hits on that German counter, flipping it for the first time to its weaker side, which is actually just 1, and then removing from the game, meaning we have taken that space, which is very good for us. I really don't think it's very sensible to press forward any further. Not with that unit because it's very weak. We wouldn't really gain anything, I don't think, by moving much further forward with that one. So let's consolidate by bringing up the counter. If anyone was wondering what these supply tokens do, by the way, when I've said low ammo on some of the open fire, you can spend that to negate the effects of the open fire, but we'll cross that if and when we get to it. Now though, last unit is this one here with the Fox Company Commander, 7 strength points, and we need to go up against a machine gunner, which I think we should probably be able to do with just the green die. And we've rolled another time card. Oh, the relief column's moving forward. Okay, that means the relief column is on its second half of its activation track. So the game is coming to its final, not its final stages, but it's definitely into the second half of the game now. So I will roll yellow to try and get into that space, take out the gunner, and have an easy path up to the first of the guns for Fox Company. Oh, we've rolled another one of those yellow stop counters. Okay. Wow. Again, another mixed turn. I think we've done quite well. Everyone's up off the beach now, mostly. But at the same time, we haven't really progressed as far as we can. There's some stiff German resistance going on here, and some unfortunate fortunes of war with the dice and what have you. Okay, join me next time for activation round 4, and we'll go from there. See you next time.